Isaac Cypress loved his job at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Surrounded by cutting-edge technology, Isaac thrived in the atmosphere of discovery. His days were filled with deciphering complex algorithms and analyzing data from distant probes. Isaac had a close circle of friends, especially his colleague Beck, who shared his love for space. Their friendly rivalry often spilled into playful competitions. Little did he know, a secret lurked on the horizon, set to change his life forever. It started with a seemingly random blip on their radar. Isaac and Beck were developing a new program to track satellite signals, but this signal was different, faint, yet pulsing with an unknown rhythm. Intrigued, Isaac ran the signal through their database. Nothing matched. The signal originated from a remote region in Canada, devoid of any registered ground stations. Isaac decided to investigate further, unaware of the profound truth he was about to uncover. Isaac's pursuit of the unknown signal led him to a decades-old article about a bizarre incident in Wrangell, Alaska. In 1979, a logger named Carl reported a terrifying encounter with a UFO. A blinding light engulfed the truck ahead of him, lifting it into the air before dropping it back. A mangled wreck. Carl's story was met with skepticism, but he remained adamant about seeing a disc-shaped craft. Isaac was captivated, feeling that this forgotten incident held a piece of the puzzle. Fueled by curiosity, Isaac delved deeper, scouring online forums and eyewitness accounts. Days turned into weeks, the mysterious signal a constant presence in Isaac's mind. One evening, Isaac decided to clear his head with a hike. As he stood on a rocky outcrop, a blazing streak of light tore across the sky, crashing down in the distance. Military vehicles sped past, heading towards the crash site, which was quickly cordoned off. Intrigued, Isaac bypassed the roadblocks and crept closer to the crash site. He saw a disc-shaped craft rise silently from the crash site, and as he pressed record on his phone, a beam of intense light engulfed him. Isaac woke up disoriented, miles from the crash site, with a strange circular mark on his forearm. Back in his apartment, he examined the mark, tracing its intricate pattern with his fingers. Driven by a need for answers, Isaac went to the hospital. The doctors were baffled by the mark, unable to explain its origin. An X-ray revealed a perfectly straight fracture in his arm bone, as if made by a surgical instrument. Determined to solve the puzzle, Isaac knew he had to confront the truth. Isaac's attempt to share his story quickly spiraled into a nightmare. He uploaded the footage of the disc-shaped craft to social media, hoping to connect with others. Instead, he was met with skepticism, ridicule, and hostility. The video went viral, but Isaac became an object of scorn. News outlets seized upon Isaac's video, questioning his sanity. Overwhelmed, Isaac withdrew from his friends and family, seeking solace in his computer screen. Desperate for a lifeline, Isaac sought refuge in online forums dedicated to UFO sightings. He found Sarah, whose story resonated with him. She too bore a strange mark on her arm from a terrifying encounter. They met in a cafe, sharing a profound understanding. Sarah, a seasoned researcher, saw Isaac's story as a crucial piece of the puzzle. Together they sought to expose the truth, united by a shared secret. As Isaac delved deeper into Sarah's research, he stumbled upon Carl, the logger from Wrangell, Alaska. Carl's encounter mirrored Isaac's own experience with chilling accuracy, but Carl had vanished shortly after reporting his encounter. Sarah suspected foul play, believing Carl had stumbled upon a dangerous truth. Isaac and Sarah vowed to find Carl, believing he held the key to understanding their experiences. The search for Carl became their obsession, a quest for answers. Isaac and Sarah tracked down Zed, a reclusive hacker with a reputation for cracking secure databases. They found him in a dingy cafe and recounted their story. Intrigued, Zed agreed to help them find Carl. He infiltrated government databases, piecing together a digital trail. Isaac knew time was running out but refused to give up hope. They would find Carl and expose the secrets hidden from them. The coordinates Zed uncovered pointed to a desolate stretch of wilderness in northern Canada. Isaac, Sarah, and Zed embarked on a journey into the unknown. They flew into a small, isolated airport and navigated winding dirt roads. Isaac couldn't shake off a feeling of being watched. Days turned into nights as they ventured deeper into the wilderness. Each passing mile tested their resolve, but they pressed on, bound by a shared purpose. The signal led them to a dilapidated cabin in a secluded valley. According to Zed's calculations, Carl had been transmitting from here. Isaac approached the cabin cautiously, but Zed stopped him. Using a drone, Zed infiltrated the cabin's security system. The feed revealed a lone figure, hunched over a table. Zed initiated a two-way audio connection. "Carl, we know you're in there, we're here to help." The door creaked open, revealing a man who looked as though he had stepped out of the wilderness itself. Carl, his face weathered and worn, his eyes burning with a mixture of suspicion and desperation, stood framed in the doorway. He had spent the last 20 years living off the grid, a self-imposed exile from a world that had branded him a madman, a liar, a danger to himself and others. The years of solitude had taken their toll, leaving him hardened, wary, distrustful of any hand that reached out. Isaac, choosing his words carefully, explained their reasons for seeking him out. He spoke of the signal, the strange mark on his arm, the shared experience that connected them across the years. Carl listened intently, his gaze unwavering, weighing their words, searching for any hint of deception. When Isaac finished, a tense silence filled the cabin, broken only by the crackling of the fire. "You're not the first," Carl finally said, his voice raspy from disuse. He gestured to the walls of his cabin, plastered with maps, photographs, and newspaper clippings, all meticulously arranged, forming a web of connections, a testament to his years spent trying to make sense of the impossible. "They've been watching us," Carl whispered, his eyes filled with a chilling certainty. "They've been here all along." Carl, his initial skepticism giving way to a grudging acceptance, led them to a hidden room in the cabin's basement. It was here, surrounded by an array of sophisticated electronic equipment, that he had been working tirelessly to decipher the secrets of his encounter. He showed them a device that resembled a high-tech language translator, a device he claimed could decode the alien communications he had intercepted. "I've been waiting for this," Carl said, his voice trembling with a mixture of fear and anticipation. They promised they would return. With trembling hands, Carl inserted a data chip into the device. The room was bathed in a strange, pulsating light as the device hummed to life, its screen flickering with a series of alien symbols. A series of strange clicks, whistles, and guttural sounds filled the air, sending shivers down their spines. It was a message from the stars. Carl, his face pale, his eyes wide with a mixture of awe and terror, translated the alien message. "They're coming," he whispered, his voice barely audible above the hum of the device. "They're coming for him." The message, once deciphered, revealed a chilling truth. The beings who had abducted Carl, the beings who had marked Isaac and Sarah, were returning, and they were coming for Isaac. A palpable tension filled the cabin. 5 days. 5 days until the aliens were set to arrive, according to the message. 5 days that stretched before them like an eternity, each tick of the clock a hammer blow to their raw nerves. Isaac found himself drawn to the window, gazing out at the vast expanse of Canadian wilderness. The silence of the forest, once a source of tranquility, now hummed with an unseen energy, a symphony of anticipation and dread. He spent the intervening days practicing, honing the strange new abilities that flickered within him like a pilot light. He would concentrate, focusing all his will on a small object, a pen, a stone, a chipped teacup, attempting to move it with the power of his mind. The results were frustratingly inconsistent. A faint tremor here, a slight shift there, but nothing substantial. It was like grasping at smoke, the power there and not there, tantalizingly close yet frustratingly out of reach. Sarah, ever pragmatic, kept them focused on the task at hand, preparing for the arrival. They reinforced the cabin's defenses, setting traps, securing escape routes, transforming the once peaceful dwelling into a makeshift fortress. Through it all, Sarah remained a pillar of strength, her calm demeanor a counterpoint to Isaac's growing anxiety. She reminded him that they were in this together, that whatever the future held, they would face it side by side. The earth rumbled, a deep, guttural tremor that vibrated through the soles of their feet and set their teeth on edge. It was the day of arrival. They stood in the clearing before the cabin, a small, insignificant island amidst a sea of swaying trees. The air crackled with static, the hair on their arms standing on end as a blinding light pierced the canopy above. A disc-shaped craft, its surface shimmering like a mirage, descended slowly, gracefully, like a falling leaf caught in an updraft. From the heart of the light figures emerged, tall and slender with smooth gray skin and large black eyes that seemed to absorb light. They moved with an eerie grace, their limbs flowing like liquid. Isaac felt a strange sense of calm descend upon him, his fear replaced by a profound sense of wonder. It was as if a part of him, a long-dormant instinct, recognized these beings, welcomed their presence. He stepped forward, drawn to them by an invisible force. Sarah gasped, reaching out to restrain him, but Carl stopped her. "Let him go," Carl whispered, his eyes fixed on Isaac. "He has to do this." Isaac, his gaze locked with one of the aliens, raised his hands, palms open, in a gesture of peace. The alien, in response, tilted its head, a gesture that seemed both curious and knowing. Section 3. The Escape. The translator device, held tightly in Carl's trembling hands, crackled to life. "We seek knowledge," the voice said, a chorus of voices speaking as one. "Knowledge of your world, of your species, of him." The image of Jesus, displayed on a screen within the craft, pulsed with a faint light. "Why him?" Sarah asked, her voice a mix of awe and apprehension. "What makes him so special?" "He is the key," the alien replied, its gaze lingering on Isaac. Suddenly the forest erupted in a cacophony of noise, shouts, gunfire, the whirring of drones. Graves and his men had found them. Panic seized Isaac. They were trapped, outmatched, outgunned. He closed his eyes, picturing the cabin, the clearing, all of them enveloped in a bubble of light. He opened his eyes. They were standing in a lush green field, the air warm and sweet. The cabin, the forest, Graves and his men, were gone. Isaac had done it. He had transported them to another dimension, another reality. The aliens, their large black eyes filled with a strange mixture of amusement and respect, turned to face him. "It seems you are learning," the voice said. "Your journey has just begun." Six months had passed since their harrowing escape from the clutches of Agent Graves. Isaac and Sarah found solace on a remote island, far from prying eyes and relentless scrutiny. The island, a sanctuary of lush greenery and pristine beaches, became their haven. The mark on Isaac's arm, once a source of fear, now symbolized their resilience. Isaac rediscovered life's simple joys, exploring the island's natural beauty, yet the call of the unknown persisted. Isaac documented his experiences, exploring consciousness and reality. Sarah, his anchor, navigated this new reality with him. The island became a launchpad for their journey, challenging their perceptions and understanding of the universe. Perhaps one day it would lead them back to the stars. In the shadowy underbelly of the digital world, Carl and Zed toiled tirelessly, driven by a shared purpose. They established a hidden laboratory, a digital fortress, to decipher alien technology and uncover government cover-ups. Carl mentored Zed, guiding the young hacker's raw talent. They were an unlikely duo, united by a desire to expose the truth. Their efforts bore fruit. They developed a sophisticated algorithm, a digital Rosetta Stone. They discovered the aliens' deep interest in human consciousness. The knowledge came at a price. They lived under constant threat of discovery, yet they persisted, driven by the belief that humanity deserved to know the truth. They could not turn back, could not unsee what they had seen. They felt the call to awaken humanity to the vastness of the universe. Back on the island, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the beach, Isaac felt a familiar pull, a resonance deep within him, a whisper from beyond the veil of reality. He knew, with a certainty that defied logic, that the aliens were out there, watching, waiting, their motives as unfathomable as the depths of space itself. The encounter had changed him, irrevocably altering his perception of the universe and his place within it. He was no longer content to simply observe the stars from afar. He yearned to understand them, to unravel their secrets, to unlock the mysteries of consciousness, of existence, of the very fabric of reality. The universe, once a source of wonder and awe, now beckoned with a siren song, promising both enlightenment and danger. Isaac knew that his journey was far from over, that the path ahead was fraught with peril, but he also knew that he could not ignore the call, the pull towards the unknown, the irresistible allure of the cosmos. He had glimpsed the universe unveiled, and he would never be the same. The truth was out there, and Isaac, along with Sarah, Carl, and Zed, were committed to finding it, no matter the cost. Their journey had just begun.